and his mam can live with him, but not Sadie, nor his dad. And so lost is he in his dream, he doesn't notice his net slip from his fingers and drift off on the tide. "Jason!" squawks his sister. "Dad'll kill you!" "Oh, Jesus!" agrees his mam. "Your dad!" His tummy turns over as he thinks of his father. "I'll get it," he says, and jumps into the water, sandals and all, soaking his shorts right up to his crotch, wades out and snatches the tip of the bamboo before it edges past the slipway and out into the wide velvet estuary. "Got it!" he calls, as if he's netted a monster. "Dad'll still kill you," says Sadie, smug, as they trudge up the hill. "You're soaked." "Your dad won't know," mollies his mum. "You'll be nice and dry by then." But Jason doesn't care either way. Not right now. Right now, he's Dick Whittington, sitting in his fat future, counting his coins and his stacks of books besides. And his dad? His dad's an ant, an emmet, so far away he's small enough to stamp on. Chapter 1. James. 2018. Here is the man. His days are practiced, precise, military in detail and execution. He selects socks, black silk mix from rolled ranks of identical pairs, striped cotton boxers from the folded pile, releases a pristine linen shirt from its plastic shroud. He eats rye toast, drinks a single espresso from a stovetop pot before switching to green tea, which he sips, pinched at the bitterness. Forfeit, some might call it. Have called it, in fact. But rigidity pays. His cholesterol is enviably low, his blood pressure steady, his waistline at 47 still a trim 32. "In your prime," that doctor had told him. Pascoe, was it? Or Danvers, perhaps? And Isabel appreciates it, of course. "Making up for a wasted youth?" she'd asked him once, when he turned down a rum-soaked trifle, an ironic nod at an East End restaurant that was all earnest Formica and art students. "Hardly," he'd said, and laughed, as if it were nothing, a moth of a comment to be swatted away. Then later, he'd run 4 miles on the treadmill that stands in his lounge. No, not lounge, living room. All the while pushing the packet of dream topping, the tinned mandarins, the stale sponge to the back of the imaginary larder, along with the rest of his childhood. Because he can do that now. Can corral, control it all. The mess of his previous existence, the spooling complications. Has had to be as strict with himself as he is with his diet. Because obtaining that, maintaining that, requires twice the discipline of any six-pack. And so each day has a manageable form. He rises at 6, works out for an hour, showers and dresses according only to season and invitation, never whim, eats standing at the counter while skimming the papers, 2 broadsheets, 1 tabloid. It's his job, after all, to peer into the gutter. Then, his crockery rinsed, stacked in the stainless steel smeg, he walks the 4 yards to his office, sits at his Urquhart desk, and begins. Such a strange charade, ghosting. Ghoulish, Isabel had said, pun unintended, not long after they'd met, then compared him to a cuckoo or a thief. "I know it's your job," she'd continued, "but still." Then she'd laughed, faked a shudder, her polished bob flicking forward and catching on her lips. "I'm only putting on their shoes," he'd said, resisting the temptation to replace the lock neatly behind one ear. "That's all." "But don't you ever lose sight of yourself?" she'd pushed. "Perhaps." "Never." And he'd shaken his head for emphasis. He didn't tell her then, hadn't told anyone, that his posture was borrowed from a Saudi prince. His extravagant laugh a whip's affectation. His habit of calling his few male friends Buster, the tick of a minor gangster turned grass. Because that's how it works. First he